Hello and welcome to Thoughts Can Heal podcast. I am your host, Denise Lynn, and as always, I am so grateful that you're here with me today, spending a little bit of your time with me and allowing me to share some really good stuff with you. The title of today's podcast is Others Can Hear Our Thoughts. And that might seem ridiculous to you, but the truth is, our thoughts absolutely can be heard by others. And the reason why is because thoughts are energy. And maybe you've noticed in your lifetime, being around a certain individual and feeling a certain, either a good vibe or a negative vibe. Or maybe you've noticed in your lifetime that for no reason really, all of a sudden you'll have maybe a negative thought about another person. Even if they really haven't done anything wrong to you, and you just have a bad feeling about somebody. And oftentimes it's because of what we're thinking or others are thinking, because those thoughts they travel. And maybe you've noticed how you hadn't talked to a family member or a friend in a really, really long time, and then you start thinking about them, and then all of a sudden they call you. There's no coincidence in these things. And the reason I want to talk about this topic today on how others can hear, it's actually we feel what others are thinking. Because again, it's energy. Those thoughts are energy, so we get a vibration. Thoughts are vibrations. So this is such great news, I think, when you become aware of this. Because it can eliminate a lot of unnecessary suffering. And what I mean by that is, if you have somebody on your mind, say somebody did something to you, maybe they said something that was offensive, maybe this person's very close to you. What happens usually with us is we start on this thought process of, how could they do that to me? Can you believe what they said to me? And we start with those thoughts in our minds. And then sometimes we even go further and, we call a friend and we say, can you believe what this person did to me? I know I've done this several times, many, many times, hundreds of times. We all do it because we want to express our feelings, and we are craving for that other individual to be like, you're right, how could they do that to us? But unfortunately, when we do that, it just makes the situation worse because we're bringing more energy to it. So another thing is if we're sitting around having negative thoughts about that person, ultimately they are feeling that vibration, but so are we. So are we. When you have negative thoughts about other people, when you have jealousy thoughts, when you have resentful thoughts, anger thoughts, you really think that you're projecting it out towards this other person or situation, but in fact, it's coming right back at you. That's why we don't feel good when we get angry and we react rather than respond, and maybe we yell or, trying to defend ourselves. And our blood pressure increases, our faces get red, we maybe sweat, we're like, just so that aggression. That's not a good feeling. Nobody likes to feel that way because it is not our natural state. Our natural state is love, it's compassion, it's understanding. So the great thing is that we can start to become aware of the thoughts we're having about other people and maybe situations, and turn it around to a positive. Maybe that person that you care about so much that hurts you from saying that one thing, what if we start to think about all the good things that person possibly has done for us? We forget all that and just focus on that one silly statement, that we allowed to hurt our feelings. And nobody has control over your feelings besides you. We are the only people in charge of our emotions at all times. Nobody can do anything that we don't allow. So first, it's becoming aware of what we're thinking. Second, it is reversing the thought. Maybe try to show some compassion for that other person. If they did something to us, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're not feeling well. And send them blessings. Send them blessings. Send them love. Because no matter what they did, you are the one who's in control. I am the one who's in control of my feelings and emotions. No one can hurt you unless you allow them to. And again, we have to be mindful of what we're thinking about other people because, like I said, it comes back at us. And also they feel that vibration. They feel it. And if you really sit back and think about what I'm saying, as silly as it sounds, we really, I think, most of us are brought up believing that other people can't read our minds. They can't, they don't know what we're thinking. They don't know exactly what we're thinking, but they can sense the vibration, especially if it's geared towards them. And your life becomes so much better, and your body becomes so much lighter, and your mind so much quieter when you can start to practice mindfulness by being aware of the thoughts you're having and immediately, switch it to the positive if you're thinking negative. Send somebody that you're feeling hurt by, send them love. Get that negative thought out of your mind because it's polluting you. It's hurting you. It's not hurting them. You being angry and having negative thoughts and calling your mother and calling your sister, your friends, your brother, to talk about how terrible this person, what they did was so wrong. That's just creating more negative energy. And we all do it. I mean, I did it a couple weeks ago, and I've since had to catch myself because I am aware. What did I do? I just created more negative energy. So what I did was my forgiveness practice, which I'm going to share with you in a few minutes, that has helped me so much feel just so much better in my life, and has gotten so many of those negative thoughts that I was once holding in my mind, it just freed them. So I'll tell you what I do, and I highly recommend you doing this if you are someone who is holding resentment, who has anything negative, jealousy, anger, unforgiveness, any negative emotion, if you're harboring about anybody. What I do is I sit down with a piece of paper, I close my eyes, I quiet my mind the best I can, and I just think and ask my mind, is there somebody I need to forgive? And actually, about a week and a half ago, I sat down to do this practice, and I really didn't think I had a lot of people that I was holding on to, some anger or judging or what have you, but we're all human. So I sat down to write my list. I really thought maybe there's like 2 or 3 people. Honestly, there's probably at least 15 people that came to my mind that I had some sort of icky emotion about. Whether it's something maybe they said to me that offended me. Usually with me, that's usually when I start to spiral in a negative thought loop, is being so easily offended, which I'm working on so much. And And I suggest if you are somebody that gets offended easily, that you also take some time and look into that, because it's not a good emotion to have. So I write out this list, and I'm going to explain to you the prayer that I say to release this person and to send love and forgiveness to them and also myself. So you have your list, and you put both hands on your heart, close your eyes, bring that person who you're holding that negative emotion about to the screen of your mind. Imagine they're right in front of you. And here's what I say. You can say something like this, but this has really, really helped me. So you might want to grab a piece of paper and write this down. So the first thing I do, again, I imagine the person is right in front of me. I close my eyes, and I begin by saying, I am a divine soul. Then to that person, I say, you are a divine, beautiful soul. Then I ask for forgiveness. I say, please forgive me for anything I might have done to you in the past, whether it was actions, words, or thoughts. Please forgive me. And then I forgive them. I forgive you for any action, words, or thoughts that you might have had directed at me. And then I say, our karmic account has been wiped clean. It's clean. And then I say, from here on out, our only exchange between one another will be thoughts of harmony, peace, and love. Then I say, thank you, God. And then take a deep breath. If there's another person, bring them up to the screen of your mind and say the same thing. I have been practicing this practice daily, because unfortunately, if we've been harboring resentment towards somebody or a situation for a long period of time, it's really deeply rooted into our subconscious mind. So some people, it might only take one time doing that for, and you could scratch them off your list. I know that's happened to me. But there might be some people that you've been holding on to some negative emotions about for a really, really long time. So it's going to take some time. But after the first time you do it, you should feel lighter. And then you do it again the next day and the next day. And if you do this for 21 days, you are going to be amazed at how much lighter you feel. You know, harboring negative emotions, number one, it doesn't feel good. Number two, it holds us back from living the lives we want to live. It even holds us back from manifesting things that we want in our lives, such as more money, more abundance, better relationships, because it keeps us at a very low vibration. And when we want good things or better things in our lives, we have to be on that level of vibration with the good that we want. So if you're constantly thinking negatively, and you're angry, and you're resentful, you are at a very, 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 very low. You're at like the lowest. It's like the bottom of the emotional scale. And we want to get up there. We want to get to joy. We want to get to peace. We want to get to love, compassion. Because those are higher states of vibration. And that's, when we get to those higher states of vibration, we really feel like we're living, heaven on earth. And I wish that for all of us. And it is a process. It's a practice. But I believe in you. I highly recommend you considering doing that forgiveness practice with everybody in your life that needs forgiveness. And I wish you the best of luck. I hope everybody's staying happy, staying safe, staying well. If you're listening to this today, it is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, 2021. And I usually end my podcast with a couple deep breaths, but today maybe we could just pause for a moment, and I'd just like you to think of 5 things that you're grateful for, or 5 things that are going well in your life, and just sit there, just 5. That's another great practice to help raise your vibration daily, whether you do it in the morning or you just take a couple minutes out of each day just to tune in and to, think about what you're grateful for. It could be your eyesight, clean running water. I mean, there is always, always something to be grateful for, no matter what we're going through. All right, well, that's a wrap for today. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and I'll see you next week. Take care.